Hello, everybody. How is it going, everybody? Welcome to my first live chat on this channel. Um, I hope everybody's doing well. Let's see here. We don't want to do that. Let's see. Boom. Anyways, hello. I hope everybody's doing good. If you're just joining, you're probably coming over from my true crime channel or you're coming over from my podcast live channel. So this is my movie review channel if you're not familiar with it. This is where I do things like horror films, as you can see in the background here. And I've never actually gone live on this channel. Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. Maybe that's better. I've never actually gone live on this channel. And I've been literally, hey, Louisa, how's it going? After I watched the series on Netflix, and if you were reading my community posts and stuff, like I literally watched this entire series back last night. Hey, Chrissy Lee, what's up? And so I was like, I have got to come here and talk to you about it. So for anybody joining, there are going to be spoiler alerts in this, so just be warned. When we get to like the main thing of like, okay, y'all, this is like pointless to even watch beyond this. I'll be like, hey, major spoiler alert, right? Hey, Kimberly, hey, Jennifer. So that being said, so I'm gonna actually where's my phone? I want to pull up something on my phone just so I can kind of reference it, like with this is what it is or whatever. And can we just say this? So Kristen Bell is like the star producer, and I was like this. I was like, did she bring it to the thing? Oh, it's been about. Okay, I'm pretty sure that was her in that role. If you know what I'm talking about, drop in the comment section. Because I was just like, I remember her I don't know if it was her first movie, but way back then or whatever. And she was good in this, y'all. I mean, she was really good. So let me just look it up. The woman, there you go. Hey, Raven, how's it going? Hey, Stephanie. So let's see here. It's the name of it is The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. Hey, Prince Charming. Hey, Cunning. Now here's the thing about this that I just watched it because I was like, everybody's talking about it. Now the title alone, I was like, what is up with that? I didn't know that this was like a dark comedy, tongue in cheek about this whole type of what do you call this? Genre of The Woman Across the Street. Hey, Corky. Um, I didn't know it was like that, right? So I was like, the title's a little over dramatic. Obviously, as the series goes along, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, this is making sense. Like, okay, this is over the top. This is absurd. This is all that, right? So I was just like, yeah. But let's just talk about some like main stuff to it here. Okay, and just let me just get to it real quick. So, like I said, Kristen Bell she stars in it. Tom Riley's in it. He plays like the other dude. What this is about is it's about, again, we're getting into spoiler alert stuff, whatever. So if you haven't watched it, this is like your typical movie book that we see about a woman living in a house and she's watching crazy stuff happen and something traumatic happened to her, all this kind of stuff. Stepford Wives kind of a vibe, yada yada. It is a mystery, if you will. Now I'll say this, so let's just go ahead and start getting to this. So Kristen Bell is the woman. We're putting together that something bad happened to her. Let me tell you what does. So something happened to her daughter, and again, spoiler alerts if you're just joining. Something bad happened to her daughter that we will learn eventually that her husband was like some kind of like a therapist that went into prisons and stuff. And basically he was interviewing this one inmate and it was like, bring your kid to work day. And these are things that I'm just like, really? Who's going to take their kid to that kind of job? And he accidentally has to step out to talk to the warden and they lock the doors and the serial killer kills and eats his daughter. And you're just like, that is the most horrible thing I have ever heard of in my life. Obviously traumatizes Kristen Bell. And so that's her life. She is separated from her husband. She's living in this house. And the whole time I was like this, I was like, how do these people, and this is so true in this genre, how do they afford, where does the money come from? Because they live in these neighborhoods that, these houses are multi-million dollars and they don't have to ever do anything after that except for just be in their depression, right? And I'm just like, really? Like, where does she get the money from this? And it's like, oh, I'm an artist. I mean, it definitely is like poking at this stuff, right? So she's sitting there doing the standard thing of staring out the window with this dude. He's hot. He moves in across the street. And weird stuff starts to happen. He has a daughter. His wife died, so on and so forth. So the first weird thing is she goes over to dinner, and you kind of think like, maybe there's something there. Well, the next day, his girlfriend, a flight attendant, comes in, and there's obviously some cattiness there, but you're just like, why would you have had dinner with her and be willing for your daughter to take her? The daughter wanted the Kristen Bell's character to take her on a school field trip. It's just like, but again, me watching it at first, not knowing it was tongue in cheek, I didn't know any of this stuff, right? So, anyways, so it does an excellent job with the absurdity and whatnot. Okay, so as we are sitting there getting into it, and it gets more and more turned up, and so I'll just say this. So there's a character in there who is fixing the mailboxes, and he literally is fixing the mailbox for the entire series. And I started asking myself, I'm like, why does this guy ever finish the mailbox? And obviously, as you're going into it, you're supposed to be kind of figuring out like who did it, what's going on, what I'm saying, like that kind of thing. And so as I'm doing that, I'm just why is this guy continuing to fix the mailbox? Isn't anyone else creeped out by this? So on and so forth. And literally, as you're going and this other stuff starts to happen, because essentially the flight attendant girl gets killed. Kristen sees it happen in the window. She is like, this had to have happened. I'm not crazy. I know I saw this. That kind of thing. And you're just like, yeah, but again, if you've seen the genre, it's like, oh no, the woman's crazy, something happened to her. They always portray these women as something traumatic happened to her, and therefore she can't handle life again after this. You know what I mean? Like, she's gonna hallucinate and do all this stuff, which that might be true, but it's just, it's such a cliche with these characters that they do the women. And so, Kristen plays up that role. Anyways, so you're trying to figure it out, and it had me going. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The whole time I was like, oh yeah, well, the husband did it. And then I was like, well, maybe Kristen did do it. Maybe she is having these psychotic breaks. Maybe, this is, I don't know. But it definitely had me going. I mean, the guys definitely seemed like creepy enough, right? So that part, I was like, okay. Then once it got towards the end, right, of, well, I'm going to say episode 4, halfway through, it's like 8 episodes. So halfway through was when, I forget what happened exactly halfway through that made me go, okay, hold on, this might be going a different direction. So let's go ahead and just get into some of the like main, ending, spoiler alert, this kind of thing, because this is like the huge thing of it. So again, as you get to the very ending of it, and it's really leading you down this path. I mean, at this point, he has gotten a restraining order against Kristen Bell. She's broken into his house. One thing that this show does good is the cringe factor that it does is so painful at times, where I'm like, oh my God. Like when she's like begging him to let her into his house so she can prove that I can prove this girl was murdered in your house. So she breaks in and then they catch her. I'm like, that's so embarrassing. Multiple things like that. I was like, I cannot watch this. I cannot watch this. I mean, it was really bad. So this is all going along, and they're pivoting from this person, that person. They really make a case to convince you that it is what's his name, the husband, which is like usually what they try and do, until like the very end. And then they switch everything around. Now, again, spoiler alerts here, so if you haven't seen it, once they switch everything around, they make you think that the handyman dude is the one who's done it, and that makes sense, and it has a little bit of twist to it, right? You're like, there you go, this makes sense. He's living in her attic, all this stuff, right? So it makes total sense, right? But then they flipped that upside down too. And so now we'll just go ahead and talk about the main thing. If you don't want to know the big twist to it, do not keep watching this. I'm giving you 10 seconds to leave. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, major spoiler alert. At the very end of this damn movie, at this damn 8 hours, you learn that the murderer is the guy's little girl. Okay, my mouth was on the floor. Not only that, they then go into this huge fight scene between the little kid and Christian Bale. This one I was like, what? I was like, what's going on here? I mean, it was comical. Again, after the whole thing, I looked into the reviews, I was like, oh, this is like a slapstick of this. It all made more sense. You cannot tell me that little kid is going to kick her face and take all these grown adults out. Is anyone having issues with the sound? Hello, hello, hello. Can y'all hear me okay? Can y'all hear me okay? Hello? Hello. Let me try this way. Is this better? I can do it off my ear a little bit. Busy and sound issues off and on. Okay. It's choppy. Oh, that's weird. I don't know why this is doing this. I'm gonna get hold on.